So the level of interest in quality premium seniors living accommodation is extraordinary. I can't build enough. Right now, there is a phenomenal demand from people who are looking to downsize from their large family home. They want the same level of standard that they're used to, but it's really important to them that they stay in the same location. So unbelievable demand.
I think at this point in time, the interest in prestige retirement villages is unprecedented. The demand that we've experienced, the sales that we've had, has led us to then look at new opportunities. The market is right, the opportunity is there, we need to just build it and deliver it.
I think what's important is that as a builder, we're building the foundations and bringing the pluses from all of those experiences and all of those developments we've done to build a foundation for prestige. And then what you wrap it in is up to you.
The way that we look at the broader property market is from a social aspect. So there's a lot of different requirements right across the sector, and seniors living is no different. We see that the prestige part of the sector provides a really strong proposition for some of the community. Some of the factors which are driving this are the increasing wealth of older Australians. So over the last 20 years, we've seen almost a doubling of average net wealth driven by property prices, driven by superannuation balances.
I think the important thing is to recognise that people are looking for a quality standard of living, what they're used to. It doesn't matter whether they're living in Campbelltown or whether they're living in Vaucluse or whether they're living in Cronulla. They're looking for that standard that they feel comfortable with, but they're also looking to stay in the place where they've been brought up in, where their grandchildren are, where they're familiar and comfortable with, and they don't have to leave. That, for me, is the most important value proposition for these people.
With M by Montefiore, our value proposition is more than just high-end luxury. It's also the community that we offer, the experiences that we offer, and a sense of freedom. So there's freedom from worrying about day-to-day tasks. There's a freedom knowing that there is help available. We have 24-hour RN availability. So that really adds a peace of mind and adds that level of freedom.
So again, talking about a value proposition for prestige villages would be, for me, more about them knowing that they're going into a place where they don't have to worry, as opposed to a strata development where they have to actually actively participate in looking after their environment. It's looked after for them. They know it's well built from the beginning. They've researched the players that have been involved in building and operating those villages prior to them moving into this one.
Again, the way I sort of see the value proposition right across the sector is fourfold, really. So it's really around the services being delivered in, the facilities within the community, the network and the social aspect of that community, which add value. And then there's a care component as well. At the heart of it, it comes back to providing peace of mind and comfort to older Australians. So the aspects of the proposition don't change across the sector, but maybe the level of services and level of facilities may.
Each individual owns their own strata, and they don't really care who they sell it to in the end. And you get some bad apples in there, and you get a lack of understanding of the infrastructure, and people start to do things to the infrastructure, make changes and alterations they shouldn't be making, that degrade the long-term performance of the building and its services. So, I've seen that cause a lot of stress for septuagenarians and octogenarians in these villages, because there's nobody there to officiate that or to blow the whistle on that. Whereas in a retirement village, I've come around to see that you call it a retirement living, retirement village, whatever you want to call it. But at the end of the day, if it's run well, you are with like-minded people and you don't have to worry about the asset. Your value is actually protected as a result, not lost.
So at Montefiore, the care path that we see doesn't always, or does not just start with the actual physical build, but we know it is there. We offer that as part of our service, as part of our solution. But with a care path, it's very important that you understand what your residents need and demonstrate how you can provide that. From the sense of community, from the activities, from the services that we offer, the 24-hour registered nurse support, we have all that to ensure that the high net individuals are able to stay in their local communities in an environment that they deserve and that they've worked their whole lives for.
I think the care path is first of all, being able to keep them at home as long as possible. And I think that the operators should have a home care element, and a lot of the not-for-profits do. I think obviously the for-profits and the prestige operators do by and large. And I think that it's important that you develop that relationship early on, not when they come into the village, but you know, some people make their decision to go into retirement village simply because they've had their first major illness. But then they can recover and they can live quite comfortably outside the village for a while longer. And I think that's how you develop the relationship.
I think that in terms of care across the sector, it's very much determined by the mix of residents that you have, and the mix of residents, it changes over time. We see a real requirement to ensure that your proposition encompasses the right levels of services and care for the community at the time.